Well, today we're going to talk about the seller price sheet. Now, the seller price sheet is simply a one-page form that I use and that I actually give you in the training in the operations manual on your CD that you can use to send the financial figures to the sellers that you're working with. You just email it to them. I get a lot of people asking me how we do the volume that we do of lease options, and one of the big keys to that is efficiency, and that means sending the information, getting it to the sellers very quickly, very easily, in a simple to understand manner. I don't see most of the properties that we do. We may do 50 or more lease options a year, and out of those 50 I may see 20 houses. So we use a seller price sheet. It's just simply a PDF, and again, you get a copy of this in your training manual when you come to the class. Now, the seller price sheet, you just simply fill out the figures on the property. Once I get information on the property, I get the address and work the preliminary figures. It takes me about 10 minutes, if that. Not even that long. Then I put the seller price sheet together, and I simply email it to the owner so they can see the financials on the property. So here I just put in the property address up at the top, and then I begin, and this auto-populates, so this is all field formed, and I'll show you the software here. I simply put in the figures on the property that I'm going to be sending to the seller, and it's all broken down so they can see how the financials come together. It shows the monthly payment, the rent credit, the total amount of rent credit, and it also shows what they're going to be expecting to receive at the end of the day when it comes time to close on the property. Now, I do make a note in there that this does not include closing costs, but it's important for them to be able to see in an easy manner and a simplified manner of how the lease option numbers work. So I just complete this with all the figures on the property, and once I do this, it'll auto-populate here at the bottom, and it'll show how much you're going to be receiving with the total amount down that they're receiving, their monthly payment, etc. So they can get an idea of where they're going to be financially, because the first thing you want to do is find out if it's going to work for them financially before you start spending 30 minutes on the phone with them to discuss how lease options work. Then I save each one of these. I save on my desktop. That's just the way I do it. Save it as the address and put figures. So 9321 Bedford Lane figures, because now I'm going to email it to the owner. And to email is very simple. I just obviously I just go to create the email, put in preliminary figures for their house, and I use a Mac, and Mac has sticky notes, and I have a sticky note for this specific type of email because I don't have to send out, create 25 emails a week for sellers I'm sending out to. So I just simply copy the email, and paste it over to this email. I'm sorry, copy the sticky note, paste it here to the email. Bam, bam, there you go. There's their email. I'm going to attach the file, the preliminary information, the preliminary figures, I should say. And now they've got a email with the figures, the one-page sheet that they can open up. It has a email explaining all the how the lease figures work and how it's going to come together for them. And that's all in the world I do. Then I'll follow up with them, maybe this evening or tomorrow, to discuss the figures, make sure they have, see if they have any questions about the figures, make sure it makes sense to them, make sure that financially it's going to be a good fit for them, because it may not be a good fit for them. If it is, then we can take to the next step, which is to send the documents to them and discuss the actual lease purchase in full. And that's it. I'll make another video on the documents and show you how we send those out as well. Alright, thanks a lot.